Good morning, caretakers, and welcome to Caretakers Corner, where we discuss everything that has to do with taking care of your elderly disabled parents, disabled spouses, adult disabled children, and ourselves. And I know I'm in the middle of a series, but I will not be doing the next video in that series today. I'm going to discuss one, I'm going to give you an update on my mom, and then I'm going to discuss some of the issues that come along with a situation like my mother had. So, my mom is recovering. She did break her hip a couple Fridays ago, had surgery Saturday, and went into rehab on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think, of that week. So, she's been in rehab. She is due to get out of rehab on March 14th. Which will make her happy because her birthday is March 12th. So she already got a birthday present. Um, but on top of all those issues, just the breaking of the hip, her head was fine. Got a couple of staples, but the head was fine. Um, and I want to thank my contractor, Steve, because he did a great job of keeping her calm. Because I happen to be already on my way there. But so I had to put mom into rehab. The doctors said I had to put mom into rehab. Mom lives by herself. I am her caretaker, uh, which means I help her out and everything, but I do not live with her. And um, so she has to be able to take care of herself to some degree. Like I can do the shopping and take her food, but she has to be able to cook her food or at least heat her food up, feed herself, bathe herself, do her own laundry, and all that jazz. Um, and Otherwise, then I have to take the next step of putting her in another facility that can take care of those needs for her. Um, and when we went to talk to her about rehab, now, so anyone that doesn't know, you have rehabilitation centers which help with like where she fell, helping her be able to learn how to put her clothes on and walk and do stuff while she heals. And at some point in the future, she won't have to use a walker or a cane or anything, ideally, and she'll be just fine. So rehab helps with that. It also helps with getting the muscles, like where, they had to go in, they cut through all the muscles and all that. So they have to go in and they have to help her to strengthen those muscles where they haven't been used for a few days, especially in the elderly. Well, in anyone, the longer you go without using muscles, they do atrophy, and you have to work to build them back up. And especially in the elderly, this happens really quick. Like if you ever get the flu and then you're in bed for like a week and you're not up moving and doing stuff, you have a lot of trouble once you get back up moving and doing stuff. So same concept, only to a magnitude higher. And so we had to have the discussion about going to rehab. Now, going to rehab is different than going to a full-time nursing facility where you go in and you don't come out. All right. Um, and I don't know if mom was worried that I was going to put her in a nursing facility because she's of sound mind and all she did was break her hip. She was taking care of herself before that, and she can take care of herself when she gets home. So it was just rehabilitation. But in her mind, somehow, I was putting her in a nursing facility and I was just going to walk away and forget about her. And that is obviously not what happened, as I have been going to visit her every other day or so. Um, and but you have to deal with these. And she actually literally started acting like a child at one point. And she got mad at me. She got mad at the doctor. She tried getting mad at the nurses. It's like, this is for your own health. And I had to go over and over and over and over again with her that it was not long term. It was just until she got through rehab. And that the length of time she's in there is literally based on how much work she's willing to put in. And I want to go over this with you guys because As caretakers, especially of our elderly parents, this is a conversation that you're more than likely going to have. Not every one of you will have that conversation. Hopefully, your parents have great genes. They're going to go and go and go until they just one day don't wake up. They go to sleep, they don't wake up. That is literally the ideal way I would love for life to go for people. That's not typically how it goes, especially like in my area. We have rural people, rural individuals who haven't eaten the best in the world. Their diets consisted mainly of all sorts of meats, and they fried stuff in grease, and then they saved the grease and continued I mean, you see where I'm going with this. Even their vegetables are seasoned with meat, in my area. And it's not just the elderly. They taught it to the younger generation. So that's what is going on in my area. And so a lot of our elderly are not very healthy individuals. Um, that being said, we have a lot of nursing homes and nursing facilities for long-term care, because bodies just wear out. And sometimes the bodies wear out before the mind does. And sometimes your mind wears out before the body does. And these are all instances where you need a nursing facility. Nursing facilities are legitimate places. They provide a legitimate service. And I do not think anyone should feel guilty about putting a family member in a nursing home. And I will not feel guilty if mom ends up going into a long-term facility. Her mother did. So I'm not going to feel guilty about that. And that is basically what this video is about. We should not feel guilty about having to put our parents into, number one, rehab, or even a family member. I mean, anyone could have to go to rehabilitation. It is rebuilding your muscles and your bones after a major incident. Okay, my brother, when he was in his 20s, had an issue, and he ended up in a wheelchair for a long time, and he had to have home health, occupational therapy, and rehabilitation come in and visit him several times a week, to help him with his rehabilitation. It is a legitimate issue. And for elderly specifically, it is better for them to be in a rehabilitation center, especially if they live by themselves. So don't feel guilty about that. So now the next point is, when do you choose a rehabilitation center over a nursing facility? And this is, I mean, there are nuances for each individual person's situation. I work full time, and I take care of my spouse, who is also disabled. I take care of my parents. Well, I took care of my dad till he passed away, and I will take care of my mom till they pass away. But the issue is, with dad and with mom, and like my stepdad, they have to be able to take care of themselves in their daily living. Now, they don't necessarily have to be able to drive, like dad drove. Mom was driving until she broke her hip. She won't be able to drive for a while because it was her right hip. No, maybe it was her left hip. If it's her left hip, she can continue to drive. I'm sorry, I just spaced which hip it was. But they have to be able to take care of their daily living, is my specification. I cannot live with them. And so they have to be able to take care of their daily living activities. Now, whether that means buying microwavable meals and being able to put them in the microwave. Dad, he did mostly microwavable meals. And then he had a little griddle that he would fry up his little bacon and everything. And oh my God, apparently he never emptied the bacon grease. That was a mess after he passed away. But, he could take care of himself. Now, I had stools set throughout the house, so that way if he was walking around and got tired, he could sit on it. He had a walker, and but when he was in the house, he didn't use it. And I modified his walker so that when he went out, he could put stuff in it and on it, and I mean, we had a whole structure set up for him. And once mom gets out of rehab, we will set the house up for what's best for her. They've ordered some equipment to help her out, and for what they think might make life a little bit easier for her. And then, we'll go from there on fixing it up for her. So, the for my qualifications, a long-term nursing facility consists of when mom can no longer take care of herself and her daily needs. Now, like I said, I just went through a list of what that consists of. It may be different for you. It may be that you can live with your parents and you only got them to take care of, and you can live with them or have them live with you, and you can provide for more needs than I can. But that is a decision that is based for each individual person. But I am going to make the suggestion that you figure out what that red line is. You let them know what that red line is. Have the conversation early, so that way you don't have to worry about the breaking down and crying like a baby and trying to make you feel guilty beyond belief. Yeah, went through that last week. So I hope this helps. It gives you something to think about. You have to know your own limits, and I know what my limits are. And I've gone over those limits with you all, and I've gone over those limits with my spouse and my parents. So they all know what my red line is. And you have to know what your red line is, and you have to discuss that red line with your family. I mean, in no uncertain terms. You have to know where that is. You have to hold your boundaries, and you have to have that discussion. It is a hard discussion, which is why I suggest you have it early in the journey, because they know what it is, you know what it is, and they are of sound mind, hopefully, when you have the conversation, and hopefully sound emotions. Have it early. So I hope this helps. I will link a couple of videos that might help you in your decision making, and a couple of lists in the decision making for nursing assistants, nursing rehabilitation, and nursing facilities. And I hope this helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And next week I will be back on doing my series. Last weekend I did not post a video, and I do not regret it. We had family weekend, and we did stuff Saturday and Sunday. Completely relaxing weekend. No stress, no mess. We had a great time. And then we went out yesterday and had a family day, and I will post some photos on the different social media aspects to share with you all. So have a great day, and don't forget to go out and have fun with your family. Take that time for yourself and enjoy life. Things could get very complicated very quick in our lives, so take that time. Love you guys, and see you next Sunday.